This is Cecil from HTP Performance, talking to you guys about our Gen 3 Busa turbo kit. First thing I think we probably ought to do is look at this kit and familiarize ourselves with the components so we know what they are. So when we're talking about install a blow-off valve, you know what the blow-off valve is. So the first things I'm going to do is put a name to the part that's on the kit so you can know what we're talking about as we're seeing it throughout the instructions. So first we got our HTP Performance Plenum. It's up here. It's bolted to the cylinder head. It's attached with a Bosch drive-by-wire throttle body. That's right here. This is a Dell Wiggins clamp. Moving down the charge tube, this is what we call the cold charge tube. This is your blow-off valve. So when you close the throttle, it'll blow the extra boost off. This is the charge or the cold side of the turbo housing, or the compressor housing as some people like to call it. Moving up a little bit here, this is your turbo header, or your exhaust manifold, as some people will refer to it as. It hooks to the center or the turbine housing, which in between the turbine housing and the compressor housing is your center section. The center section is where the ball bearings are for your turbos. You have an inducer wheel over here and an exducer wheel over here. Exducer wheel pushes exhaust out of the turbo. The inducer sucks fresh air into the turbo. Coming down, this is your wastegate, where we branch off of the turbine housing to relieve all the extra boost pressure that you would have into your turbo system. And then any other components would be, you have a turbo drain back feed right here, and an oil supply on your top. We put a one-way check valve in line on our turbo kit, so when the engine's not running, no oil can get into your turbo. So that breaks down the main key components of your turbo system as far as when we're talking about blow-off valves and wastegates and turbine houses and compressor housing, so you know which one is which. Now moving to the installation of a turbo kit from HTP, of course you would have your motorcycle, your engine would be in the frame. The first thing is to get your motor to where you can get to everything. So no throttle bodies, no air box, no radiator, no exhaust system. You want to remove all those components. Once you have that, I suggest myself putting on your hot side exhaust manifold housing first. We supply these stage 8 locking bolts to keep your turbo header bolts from coming loose. From there, you will then attach the turbine housing, which will have the compressor housing bolted to it with this V-band clamp. That would go right here. Typically, I like to send our turbo kits with the turbine housing bolted onto the manifold with the wastegate, the 2 dump pipes. But for some reason, if your kit gets shipped to you with the dumps taken off or whatever, we clock everything with a Sharpie. That way it helps us when we fab it, but it also helps you when you reinstall it, so you can kind of line things up. You do have some freedom here to adjust your dump pipes to however your liking is. Moving down from the turbine housing being bolted onto the V-band flange, then the next V-band flange is your wastegate. You bolt that on there, and your dump pipe to your wastegate as well. There are 2 V-band clamps as well. You have your single big dump pipe for your main turbine housing that goes on with this V-band clamp. Then you move over to the charge side. The charge side of the turbo, it's got the cold pipe. We use a Vibrant 2-inch quick connect clamp with a disconnect pin here, and then I got a Dell Wiggins adapter on top of our throttle body. This component is the last component I put on the bike. I like to install the hot side of the turbo with the compressor housing. Then after that, I then plumb the turbo. You have a supply for your oil feed and a return for your oil feed. You'll hook this line up to the supply for the turbo, and it comes over to the side, and it gets fed from the engine block with the supplied fitting that we give you. The return comes out of the bottom. You'll basically take this 90-degree fitting, screw it onto the bottom of the turbo, and it goes over to your starter cover, where we will be supplying an MKR scavenge pump that goes into your starter cover. Once you put all the components onto your turbo system, you want to go through and secure and make sure every piece of hardware on this turbo system is locked down and tight. The next move from there is to go over to your plenum. I would suggest installing your plenum. On the back side, it has 2 clamps that bolt it to the head. You would get the plenum all down secure, got it locked down, so you'll be the throttle body, the plenum, your turbo will be on. The only piece you got to put is you got to connect the 2. You'll put your charge pipe on with your 2 supplied clamps. After you got all your charge pipe installed, you can make sure that you have all the proper clamps in the right location, everything's secure and tight, fastened properly. Then you'll go to your vacuum hoses. You'll be supplied vacuum lines that go from your blow-off valve all the way to the back side of the plenum. It will tee off into the manifold pressure sensor. Once you got those installed, we do require or suggest you to install zip ties for like backup on top of your vacuum hoses. Next thing to do from that is pretty much go over the complete turbo system. Check every single nut and bolt. Even from the factory, you never know what they've put in your wastegate or in your blow-off valve. So you always want to remove the caps, check the springs for proper installation, reinstall them, retighten all fasteners. Every fastener should be checked 3 or 4 times when installing this kit. You don't want to go and have them fall out, you know, first day on the dyno, because it'll find it. It'll find it as soon as it runs. Turbos have a little bit of vibration that goes with them, along with any road bike has any vibration, so you want to make sure all your fasteners are secure and tight. Outside of that, it's pretty simple, clean install. You would reinstall your radiator and go on to be putting your standalone of choice on your motorcycle, and you'd be ready to go. There it is.